Hi everybody, great to join us at our Vineyards tour. Kevin told you it's a wonderful Pünderich. It's a rainy Pünderich now at the moment, but we are happy to have rain now. There was very dry weather the last 2 months and the nature needs rain. Normally we like to make a walk through the vineyards to show you, to explain our work a little bit, our philosophy. And I think in the first I start to explain a little bit about Mosel. Mosel is in southwest of Germany, and the Mosel starts in France, in the Vosges. Vosges are near Alsace. And the first 350 kilometers are in France, and then the last 200 kilometers in Germany. And in the German side, we have very steep slopes on both sides of the river. The soil is the slate. That's typical for the Mosel wines. And we are located in Pünderich. That's a small village in the middle part of the Mosel River, exactly in the middle. The village is on the right side of the river, and the vineyards are on the left side of the river. The Mosel is a river between the hills of the Eifel on the left and the Hunsrück on the right side. And if we like to work in the vineyard, we have to cross the river, and we do it with a small ferry. And yeah, it's also every time a good time to relax, to come down. And yeah, it's a wonderful tradition also. So a little bit about philosophy. The famous vineyards of the Marienburg are our home. We have 80% of these vineyards in the Marienburg part, and it's great to have these vineyards in the view. Kevin, you can make the first video maybe. On the right side, we start with the main part of the Marienburg vineyard. This is the gray slate section. On top of the hill, we have the Marienburg, the old monastery, which gives the vineyard sites a name. And this part of the Marienburg vineyard, there was a land consolidation 35 years before. So this is the part with the younger wines, 30 years, 35 years old wines. It's vineyards for the vom Grauen Schiefer and also for the Marienburg GG. Easier to work here, we can work with machines. And the next one in front of us, that's the Farley vineyard, famous vineyard site with the blue slate. Also with our oldest wines. The oldest wines are around 100 years old. And yeah, outstanding wines every year. It's also for the Farley GG and for the vom Blauen Schiefer. Then on the next step, only 100 meters on the left side, we have the Falkenley vineyard. That's the best vineyard in the gray slate. Also very old wines. In the middle with the Rafes, small section, very special, our most expensive wine. And then on the left of the Falkenley, between the rocks, we have the Felsterrasse, also famous 4 terraces in the rock. And then above the railway, we have the Rotenpfad vineyard. That's a red slate section. Also very old wines for the Rotenpfad GG, but also a part of this is for the vom Roten Schiefer.
We are back. We're back.
Okay, hi. So now we are in front of the Farley. If you see the small terraces, very steep. Here we have around 70–75% steepness. And especially in this area, we have our oldest vines. These vines are around 100 years old. And I think we take a look at these old vines. So the roots of these vines are very deep into the rock. We spoke about 14, 15, 16 meters. So that brings a lot of minerality into the vine. Look, the strawberries. So if you look at this vineyard, the vines are very close together. Sometimes it's only 80 centimeters for 80 centimeters. So the old growers use every place to have a vine. But the good thing is the roots has to go deep. There has a congruence to get enough minerality, to get enough food. And if you look now, it's the beginning of May, it's the 1st of May. The leaves are growing very fast. We are early this year. And I think the main work in the vineyard starts in 2 or 3 weeks. It's a lot of rain, it's a lot of work. We have to spray. And the good thing this year is the herbs are not growing very fast. Slowly, we have a little bit of white strawberries here. We had no rain for 2 months. Now we had a lot of rain, of course. Terrible. I think we make a small walk up to the vineyard. If you look at the ground, you see the blue slate. Everywhere in the vineyard, places, sometimes only stone. On this training on the vines, it's a traditional training of the vines. So we make hearts like this, and that's leaves from the last year, and only the leaves from the second year gets the new leaves with the fruit. And you see it in the beginning, it started the first grapes. That's not the grapes, they has to flower. Then we spoke about grapes started. But in 2 weeks, we have to save this. We need it for the next year. Let's walk through the vineyard. And if you look at the ground, we have a lot of wild strawberries here. Normally a lot of different herbs, but for the most of them it's too dry up to now. But in the moment, everything looks fine. In Easter, we have problems with a caterpillar eating the young vines. We had it in different places, look like here. So these are very late, and we hope that maybe we lose 50% of the grapes for this year. maybe some are coming. We don't know exactly now. They are on this place.
To compare this one and this one.
Yeah. And we collected these caterpillars, but we have to do it by night. So on Easter Saturday night, we are working with 10 people in the vineyard to collect the caterpillars with light. For I think we worked 3.5 4 hours.
Clemens and Johannes, could you explain a little bit about the pruning and the heads pruning?
Yeah, I think we like to do it in the next vineyard, in the Felsterrasse. And we can show.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Another style now. This is younger vineyard. This is the wireframe. It's easier to work. This vineyard, this small parcel, is planted in 30 years before. It's younger, and mostly we use this the grapes from this vineyard for the noble wines. Allerlei Auslese. They have they are more powerful. There is more botrytis, so it's better to use it for the noble sweet stuff. And here you see perfect herbs for these vineyards. I don't know exactly the English word for this. This is Mauerpfeffer in German.
Wallpepper, if you translate.
Wallpepper, yeah, if you translate it. And yeah, it's close to the ground. It's everywhere. It's likes dry places, and it keeps the water. And if it's very hot, it gives the water to the ground again. So we likes it very well. We don't need to cut it, and it's everywhere in this vineyard. And it's also on the walls, on the rocks. You find it everywhere. And look at the ground. Everywhere you have the blue slate. So, and the blue slate is the hardest stone we have in the vineyard. So it's a harder work for the roots to go into the rock. And you feel it. You feel the tension in these vines. You feel also the energy of this hard stone in these vines. Honest, here everything looks fine, but I think we need our workers 1 week earlier.
Yeah. Now the rain is coming and it's growing much faster.
Now, and if we have warm weather, the growing is very fast. Look here. This is also very old wines, but the owner, before we own this vineyard since 22 years now, and the owner before makes this wire blend with the old wines. Normally I hate it to do it. I prefer the traditional
Single post
wire draining with a single post to make this hard for the old wines, but here I did it in this way. but if the leaves are growing, it's easier to put them up. So that's a good thing. And if we have the leaves like a wall on this side, it also gives the ground shadow. So that's also helpful to keep more water in the soil. And look at the ground, everywhere you see the blue slate. Okay, let's change the vineyard. A few of the rocks. You see the small terraces upstairs. It's also parts of the Fahrlight terrassen. And then, Kevin, you can show the pictures of the cellar now. Video.
So we are in our cellar now. This cellar is 1 meter under the ground, under the garden. So we have a good temperature now, around 9-10 degrees. It's good that we have a little bit colder temperatures in the summer, so the wine can stay on the lees for a longer time. That's important to give the wine a good aging potential. Also, the ripeness for the balance, it's very important to have a long leaf impact. So you see, we are working with oak barrels. It's a traditional Mosel fooder. The youngest barrels are 55, 56 years old, and maybe the older one older than 100 years. I don't know exactly. For the spontaneous, for me, old oak is very good. So the juice, but also the wine has oxidation. That's also important for the aging potential. It's important for the harmony in the wine, and especially now in these times there is not really work. You see, some wines are still in fermentation now. This one very slowly, but it's not finished. There is a little bit of sweetness, and so we have to wait. And my work is to control it, to taste the wine maybe once a week, maybe more often, and also to control the lees. So at first I take a taste of few wines and look if the lees is healthy, golden colored, and then it's no problem to keep it on the lees for a longer time. So this wine is from the Falkenley area. You remember, Falkenley is the grey slate section in the Marienburg. It's a little bit cloudy. Oh, and the lees is great in the taste. But there's also sweetness in the taste, maybe around 20 grams of residual sugar. So we have to wait. It's, yeah, maybe this one needs 3 months longer or 4 months longer, I don't know exactly. Especially in the last period, it needs a long, long time. But it's a great wine of the vintage 2019. So I control the lees. I go straight to the bottom. Now there's not a lot of leaves, so it's not settled the leaves. It's still working. But it smells healthy. No problem to won't wait. If it's brown colored, it's overripe, then it's important to rack and to add a little bit of sulfite. So in this cellar, this is our premium cellar. Here we have only the GGs, the Grand Cru wines of the winery. So most of them stay on the lees for 1 year in the barrel without racking. And some of them are 2 years or longer. These are the reserve wines. And and we also produce a little bit of orange wine. And for these wines, we have the barrique barrels a little bit, but also one fooder. And these wines are also on the lease for 2 years.
Hi, Clemens. We're back. We're back with you.
Yes, it's raining like hell. So
Okay, guys. Now it's no chance to go into the Felsterrasse. Felsterrasse is up there.
you see the 5 terraces, the steps.
Yes, we got it.
So normally I like to have the rain, but not just in this moment. I think if we go up there, then we are dry. We can talk about the vintage. Johannes, it's good for you to stay here in the rain?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, so let's look.
Oh, God.
Here we are in the Falconer Vineyard. And I like to explain a little bit about the pruning. Let's go up there. Pruning ist schneiden, winken.
Ja, schneiden. Schneiden.
Okay, let's start here with this one. Normally, the leaves are growing up. That happens now. We have to save it. You have to save it with stuff. Okay. Also here, you need this. This is perfect. If you have these old wines, sometimes they are very high. So it's important to have something more in the perfect state. And we have to do this twice, 3 times in the summer. And then on top we cut it, but very late. And then in the winter, we cut the wines and we need 2 of these leaves in the perfect position. And then our vineyards team, it's only women, which do the pruning. They put it around like a heart. Now it stopped raining. Like this. And then the next one, mostly on the other side. So that's not perfect now, but it's in the summer. looks nice. And now the leaves can grow. Here's a here we have a lot of herbs on the ground. It's one of the
Like really high.
yes, but with something coming good. Maybe it's time to go in the Felsterrasse.
Yeah, okay.
And you put the leaves up. We need bast, and we get this from Madagascar. That's crazy, but it's a natural product. We hate plastic or something else. In our vineyards, this is nature, and it weathered after 1 year.
Yeah.
Okay, please follow me. So this is all Falkenlei here. These rafters on this side. And between these rocks, we have the Felsterrasse. Normally we had the idea to make another trip, but we have to change it. It's raining. Here you see the gray slate now. Different in the color. But sometimes if you break it, you also have a blue touch. Here we also have a lot of mince. With Melisse. There are what means Möhre.
Carrot.
Carrots.
Wild
Wild
carrot.
carrots. Zitronenmelisse. And also a lot of wildflower.
Beautiful colors all the time of the year.
So, and if we spoke about the typicity, the Falkenlei. Falkenlei is famous vineyard for noble sweet wines, but also since 20 years for us famous for dry wines. In the taste, they are a little bit more opulent. And you feel a touch of botrytis in these dry wines. You don't use botrytis for this, but you feel it. There is also crown. It's not so dry as the Falai, but we also have a lot of rocks here. They're falling down from the hill. And that's the thing that we select the Felsterrasse as another vineyard. It's on the rocks, other conditions, totally different in the taste. It's very pure and full of attention. Please follow me.
really slippery.
Look, the steps are interlocked.
It's not the worst work here to have this view all the time.
But here, you see it's talk about the pure place. You don't see a lot of land. It's too dry. I think here we have only 25, 30 centimeters weathered soil. And then you have rock. Very steep. Vineyard is also 95 years old.
Clemens, are they on grafted vines?
Hier wird's echt sein.
Yeah, here it's ungrafted. Yes. Okay, können wir noch weiter hochgehen?
Ja, können wir machen.
Ja.
Hier hinten runter.
Look, the strawberries, maybe they are ripe next week, but very small. So make the first harvest, and we can make a strawberry wine. Great.
Johannes, can
Yes.
you explain how the stakes, how are you able to put the stakes into this rock?
Yes. So we have a like a big metal post. We do like holes before, and like something like oh, it's hard to explain. So we make holes before, and then we can put the sticks into the soil. So a lot of them break if we try to do it, but yeah, somehow it works in the end.
It's a drill that you drill down into the ground, or it's a what makes the hole in the ground, Johannes? A drill?
No, it's a metal stick.
Ah, okay, it's a metal stick. Okay, yeah. Whoa.
Yeah. Oh. Hold on a second.
Lege für den Hand.
Also. Okay. Scheiße.
Let's explain the new wall, Johannes.
Yes, so 2 years ago, one of these old walls on the side of the vineyard, we go now, just fall down, more or less complete.
Yes, you're back.
I'm
You're
back. Okay, sorry, my phone broke. It was too wet.
Oh no.
To a dry place. now we have Rita's phone. So it's raining again like hell.
Back to this house in the vineyard.
Then Clemens can explain something about the different vintages. What I wanted to explain was that the wall, I don't know if you saw it, just fall down, and we have to rebuild it by hand completely. So it's kind of sorting all the stones by hand and put them all up together.
Okay, back again. Sorry, I'm happy with the rain. We need it, but I think it's good. It's time now. You saw the picture from the cellar before to speak about the different vintages. You asked for 17, 18, and 19, Kevin. All three are very hot vintages, hot summers, and are totally different in the style. Start with 17. Starts also with a dry spring. Then in May, beginning of May, just in this time, we had frost in 17, so we lost around 30% of the basic wine, only the basic wines. And then everything was fine, it was healthy up to end of July. So the skins, the grapes are very small, the berries are very small, so the skins are a little bit more thick. And then we have perfect conditions in August, September, and we started harvesting in the second week of October. And that's normal for us. Normal for us to make harvesting, and then we need 5, 6, 7 weeks for harvesting. 17 was great for dry wines, but also a good vintage for noble sweet wine. It's not perfect because we had no botrytis. I love 17, a very intense minerality, very pure wines, and I think great now to taste, but perfect in 2-3 years, and you can keep it for a long time. 18, also very hot, very dry, but the difference was, especially for our region, we had perfect rain just after flowering in middle of June, and then we had rain in the second, third week of July. So perfect conditions for the vines to grow and perfect to have good enough grapes. Also, August, September, great. It's a little bit more humid, but we started harvesting here in middle of September. And we started also with a lot of botrytis. So 18 was a great vintage, also for dry wines, it's a good quantity, but also a great vintage for noble sweet wines. Last week we bottled the last TBA from 2018 with around 270 degrees. And so outstanding wines in 18, but lower in the acidity. Then 19, very hot, especially 2 days in July, we had more than 44, 45 degrees. It was 4 weeks later than in South France, when it was very hot there. And so we had a little bit of sunburn, but also the healthy grapes are a little bit stressed. That makes the skins also a little bit harder. We had slowly ripen time in August, September, and here we also started in the third week of September, I think at 17th, 18th of September, and stopped harvesting after 3.5 weeks. So we have to hurry. In the end, we are really happy. We had a good quantity, normal quantity, but also a great quality. And for me, it's we had a little bit more botrytis. We also had a TBA in 2019, good quantity of Auslese qualities. But for me, it's also a perfect vintage for dry wines. Lower in the quantity in total. We are happy with all three vintages. People discuss about climate change. For me, 19 is not a wine like a climate change wine. It seems the first tastings are for me like cool climate wines, like 17. Yes. 18 is a little bit more opulent, but also really charming. Okay, now the rain stopped again. We can have a view outside. We have to change the program. Maybe Rita, we explain about your project with the goats.
Goats.
And the goats are above the Rottenpfad vineyard. You see the green. And in the moment there are only two
goats.
Two goats. And Rita has pictures from the afternoon. It's video number 3.
Here we are on the field that we don't use for wine growing. This soil is not interesting and the quality would not be good enough. But we want to keep this land to help the nature a little bit for different flowers, to keep different flowers and insects. If you look around here, you see a lot of different plants, wild plants. And to keep this field like it is, we need the help of our animals, the goats here. This is Fritz, Paula, Maya and Marie. They eat the bushes around, and that's if they would not do that, in a few years we would have only trees like this, and that would be not so helpful. There we have a little hotel for the wild insects, for the wild bees. We look there, we see that there are some flats are already used.
Not really busy at the moment, but
Not busy at the moment because it's a bit cool. Now there is the rain that we are waiting for some weeks, but you see all these holes are closed, and that means that there are living wild bees inside, or they brought their eggs inside. And after some time we have more here. Next to this field there is another open field that we used to, where we seeded some flowers for the bees. So this is the little paradise for the insects and also for our animals.
So there are some questions for you, Clemens. You just mentioned that 19 was proof that there's climate change. Is it forcing you to change any of your farming practices? The idea of the warming trend?
Yeah, I think not really. I think we saved a little bit of time because we don't have to cut the grass. It's totally dry.
meint, ob wir uns umstellen würden von der Arbeit und irgendwas anderes machen
No,
würden.
like explain it. And if we have these dry conditions, we don't need to spray. In the beginning, it's we changed our philosophy a little bit 20 years before. The time before, we made green harvest very early. We had only one leaf. You saw the hearts at the vines, and we had in this time we had only one leaf. So we had we practiced for low qualities, but then the wines are too opulent. In 1999, we had the first vintage with 14 alcohol. And so my idea in this time was to work with 2 leaves again, to make the heart again, and to have more quantity. So it changed. In 2017, it's a hot vintage. We had wines only with 12.5 alcohol, and it's the same in 19. But I think also the biodynamic practices works a little bit against the climate change. And also, I'm sure if we save the old wines, that's also very helpful. So the roots of the old wines, I told you, are very deep in the rock, and it needs a long time if it's very dry on these places. Last year, it's the hottest summer we had every time before. And in end of August, the leaves on these terraces are still green, are looking with a good vitality. And that's a sign that the old works are, the old wines are working very well. Any more questions?
Yeah, the other question, sort of off topic, is the Gemse, the symbol of the Gemse. Is that from your family symbol? The chamois, the Gemse, okay, I'm not pronouncing it correctly, but the little deer that is part of your symbol on the family crest.
Ah, it's a
Gemse?
Yeah,
No?
yes, that's from the old. Yeah. Oh, you saw it.
Somebody saw it. I don't know. And is it from your mother's family side, or is it from your father's family side?
It's from my father's side. It's from the father's side. And if you remember, we also have pictures in our tasting room. Yes. Yeah. I don't know exactly what it means, but it's in the sign of the family the whole time.
That's great.
Any more questions?
No, there's no more questions that I see. So we'll say, I think it's time for us to say goodbye and to thank you very much, all of you, Rita, Johannes, Clemens. It was fantastic. We owe Johannes a phone. So we'll be sending you a phone, Johannes.
Maybe it's working together.
Okay. All right. Cheers, everybody. Good luck with the season, and we hope to see you sooner. We miss you. We miss you terribly.
To tell a lot of things, but for us, it's also good wishes for you all. Keep healthy, drink Riesling.
Yes.
So have a good time. Hope see you maybe October, November this year.
Yeah.
We all hope so.
Tschüss. Bye.
Cheers. Ciao. Bye-bye. Ciao. Ciao, Rita.
Ciao.